So I've been using the iPad 9th Gen for about a year now, and I want to share my thoughts with you on how it feels to use the iPad 9th Gen as an artist. So I'll let the video play on the screen while I share my thoughts with you on how it feels to use the iPad 9th Gen. So before I bought the iPad 9th Gen, I watched lots of reviews on YouTube, and I would like to say that most of the things they said on the reviews are not actually as bad as they said it when you're actually using the iPad. So the iPad comes with a non-laminated display. That is to say, it has a space between the top glass and the screen of the iPad. And on those reviews, they complain that it might actually be difficult for artists to connect their lines when they are drawing because of the space between the top glass and the screen of the iPad. But my own personal experience when using the iPad, I did not face any of those challenges. It was actually fine. And the refresh rate of the screen, it comes with a 60 Hz refresh rate, unlike the iPad Pro that comes with 120. And I will say the refresh rate of the screen does not actually affect any of my drawing experiences when using the iPad. And also they complained about the sound the pen makes when it touches the screen because of the space between the top glass and the screen of the iPad, that is the non-laminated display, that it sounds more compared to those iPads with the laminated display. The sound actually, if you're using the iPad, you tend to focus mostly on what you're drawing, and sometimes it feels like the sound is not that pronounced, and like it's not actually there. But if you intend on making screen recording with the iPad and making use of the iPad mic, that's when you tend to like hear the sound that the pen makes when you're playing your what you have recorded. So that's it for the screen. So for the pen charging, it doesn't actually take a very long time to charge from 0 to 100%, like maybe within 10 minutes, or sometimes it takes more than that, but averagely it takes like 10 minutes to charge from 0 to 100. And the storage, the one I'm using currently, it has the 64 gigs of internal storage, and it's actually fine for me because the only thing I use the iPad for is to draw. But if you intend on putting some other files on the iPad, like music, videos and games, you will actually need to upgrade the storage of the iPad to a higher version of it, because already some built-in apps have already taken some of the space. So once you put those things, you won't have enough space on the iPad. So that's for the storage. And the iPad comes with 3 gigs of RAM. So for the RAM, as an artist, if you intend on using Procreate to draw with, so Procreate gives you available layers based on the RAM of your iPad. So for example, if you're using a resolution of 3000 by 3000 with 300 dpi, you will have only 25 available layers to work with. And for me personally, that's fine. But if you're the kind of person that wants more layers to work with, you will actually need to upgrade to a higher version of the iPad, either the iPad Air or the iPad Pro, for you to have more layers to work with. Or if you can reduce the resolution to have more layers to work with. And the security of the iPad, it comes with a touch ID, and that's actually fine. So I would like to conclude by saying, before I bought the iPad, actually most of these things I've mentioned, non-laminated display, the refresh rate of the iPad, the how the pen charges, and the RAM available layers, and the security were actually like a big deal to me. I was looking at them as a problem, But after getting the iPad, I wasn't actually concerned about those things. The iPad is just fine. So the if you're starting out as an artist, the iPad 9th gen is actually a good iPad. It's okay for you to start with. Later, maybe if you have lots of cash that you would like to spend on getting a drawing device, you can spend on getting the iPad Air or the iPad Pro. But for a start, you can actually start with the iPad 9th gen and it will be okay. So I'll let the video on the screen to continue playing. I'm out. Peace.